The headquarters of a Persian-language opposition TV channel that fully backs the Crown Prince of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, to overthrow the Ayatollahs in Iran, was attacked on the evening of 15th of April. The TV station called Iran International is based in Park Row in northwest London, and I have to say the channel is not exactly my cup of tea. I'm not keen on their programming policies, and I really don't like most of the people there. But this is all irrelevant to this video. And I'm just saying this so that you know. But regardless of what I think of the station or the people that work there, the subject of the video is to discuss who was behind the attack, which obviously must be condemned. A suspicious vehicle was denied entry at the main entrance on the evening of 15th of April to the TV station site, and shortly afterwards, incendiary devices were thrown into the car park, which I believe fell short of the car park and didn't even land there. Police have arrested 3 people, which I will talk about later. The suspects, and this is the interesting part, are a 19-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 16-year-old teenager. They were arrested following a car chase, according to the police statement, which must have taken place all the way from Park Royal to Ballards Lane in Finchley, where they were finally caught. I think that's about 10 miles, so it must have been some car chase. This follows recent arson incidents involving a synagogue in Finchley and Jewish ambulances in Golders Green. Attacks on opponents of the Islamic Republic and the Jewish community appear to be increasing. There have been 4 arson-related cases in 3 weeks. Now, after each attack, the media platforms aligned with the regime in Iran have published a statement by a group calling itself Ashab al-Yamin Islam, taking responsibility for the attack. The group has not been heard of before these attacks, but the statements make the group look like one of Iran's many Shia armed proxy groups in Iraq. However, the names of 2 of the individuals arrested after the attack in Park Royal suggest they are Brits or Irish, not Iraqi or Muslims. The 21-year-old that was arrested is called Eugene McGuinness, so either Irish or of Irish heritage, and the 19-year-old is called Nathan Dunn. The 16-year-old is obviously not named because of his age. Now, from my understanding, the news of the attack was first announced by the UK police at 8:30 p.m. That's before anyone knew about it. This news channel, however, on the Telegram app affiliated with the Islamic Revolutionary Guards in Iran, announced the news 4 minutes earlier at 8:26 p.m. If that's true, I mean, when I say if that's true, if the news of the attack wasn't announced in the UK before 8:30 p.m. that night, then they must have some sort of a communication channel with each other. But given the amateurish way in which the attack was carried out, it shows it's unlikely to be trained operatives, definitely not trained operatives. So what's going on? Is the regime in Iran recruiting some unknowing British youths who are tempted to get some easy money without really knowing the consequences of their actions or what they're getting into? If so, how are they doing it? Well, before answering that question, let me say that I don't think this group, the so-called Ashab al-Yamin, really physically exists. But yes, I do think the regime is paying a few quid to use some desperate youngsters in Britain who think they can earn some easy money without knowing what they're getting involved with. But they're also recruiting some youngsters who have fallen for the regime's propaganda, the ideological cases. I think the attack on the Jewish ambulances in Golders Green was such a case. But either way, this is either being done by their many outlets in the UK, Iran's outlets in the UK, that successive UK governments have allowed to flourish and spread their soft power, if you like, or by cyberspace contacts. Once the attacks are carried out, they then publish those statements by that fictitious group that they've made up in order to, A, cause fear that some new organized terror group is amongst us, and B, through the videos they publish in the name of that group, they give ideas to those naive or greedy individuals about what kind of attacks they can take part in. And obviously, I'm not going to show those videos, but believe me, they do put out such videos. One more thing to say is that the police have actually been very professional and have in all cases very quickly arrested the individuals. I'm normally critical of the police incompetency, as you know, if you watch my videos, so good to know that we still have Some units of the police, the counterterrorism in this case, counterterrorism police, that have remained efficient and professional and are doing a sterling job. But we need to be more preventative in stopping these youngsters from getting sucked in by the IRGC, by Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards. On another note, I hope you've watched my recent podcast. Please let me know in the comments what you think of them. I'm happy to take criticism too. You don't have to just say nice things. And if I have more subscribers, it will make it easier for me to get more guests for my podcast. Thanks for watching this video and hope you found it useful.